Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and it's Sunday, so I am here with Scraplift Crafternoon, a hop where a group of my friends get together, find some inspiration, and we scraplift it. I am combining that with Scraptember, and today's prompt is texture paste. So here is the layout that we are being inspired by this week. It is by one of our very own tribe members, Kathy, and it is a lovely, lovely layout. Since our prompt is texture paste, I have pulled out my solar paste by Simon Hurley, and I've got a couple of different stencils. I'm going to use some Vicky Bouton mixed media paper. That is the best way to use anything thick and heavy like this kind of texture paste or solar paste or anything like that. Anything wet or moist that has moisture in it. And then I'm going to use Vicky Bouton's Bold and Bright collection. I have quite a bit of this collection, and it should go along well with the picture. I have papers. I've got lots of embellishments. I've got my mixed media paper. I have my stencils, my picture, and this awesome layout. So let's see how this goes. So I'm going to start with solar paste and this stencil. I don't know where this came from. It was just in my stencil kit, and I have no clue. The colors of solar paste I'm using are Cross My Heart, Overheated, Golden Hour, and Crocodile Tears. That's in the top, this one that I just did right here. And then in the bottom, I'm going to do Beluga and Royal Flesh. So all 6 of the colors from the rainbow. I am trying not to overlap so I don't smush and get that top one all messed up. Now, once I am done with this part right here, I am going to set this aside, and I am going to come back after it has dried and do some more texture paste in the empty gaps that you're seeing to the right, the left, and then up towards the top again. So here is the paste before it's dried. You can see some of the color coming out already. And then here it is after it's dried for, 45 minutes to an hour. And then I came back in with a different stencil. This one is a American Crafts stencil, probably from a Vicky Bouton collection, be my guess. And I'm going to use the same colors, but mix them up a little bit in different ways, and just kind of put them on here. Now, I do not put my palette knife back in after I have mixed, because I didn't clean my palette knife in between. I put down some red. I cleaned off my my palette knife, and then I put it in the orange or the overheated. But when I put it down, it's obviously touching and getting the red and the orange and any other color on the palette knife. So I don't put it back in the orange after that. I just clean it off. So here it is before it's dry. And now here it is when it's dry. I didn't slow it down, so I look like a maniac. So sorry. But anyway, so now it is dry, and I'm going to get working on it. Now, I don't always wait till it's dry, but it just happened to work out for me to do that today. I was on baby duty for a little while, and then came back, and then was on baby duty again. And so in between times, I let it dry so that it would be easier to work with, and I didn't have to panic about, put my hand in it, which happens often. Kathy's layout is stunning. It's got lots of my favorite color, that teal and aqua color. She has matted her layout on, this is what it looks like to me. She's matted her layout on this beautiful, like, purpley blue, looks underwater or floral, and then she's made a bunch of circles out of that same background paper. And the way she's laid it down looks like she's either punched holes in the layout, the main page, or she's just laid it down to where it looks like it. So it looks like there's holes in this aqua paper, and that it is you're seeing through to the back, to that pattern paper in the background. So I do have that pattern paper, and it will be coming up to go behind the black layout. And I took that saying, I gutted my paper and I made the first mat for the picture, which is up in the very top left corner. And then I made the circles with my 3-inch circle punch and then used my Creative Memories. I think it's 1 1/4 and 1 inch, or 1 1/2 and 1 inch circle. And I punched those out, and I'm just going to put those wherever I feel like they need to go. Some of them are going to be used to cover up the lines between the stencils so that there's not a big gap and an obvious difference between them. And then some of them are just going to be, wherever. I don't want to cover all of my texture paste up, obviously, because it's beautiful, and what's the point of putting it on there? Especially as much as I put on there. So I really want it to just enhance everything. Now, the other thing is I want to make sure I use my wet glue. I use Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. That's my favorite glue. I like the way that it holds, but also I like the shape of the bottle and how easy it is to work with. The cost is pretty decent. I like a sturdier bottle, and I like that it's like the shape of it makes it easier to hold on to and not have to squeeze so much, because I have carpal tunnel, and the last thing I need is to have like a harder, sometimes they have a hard plastic bottle and you have to squeeze it harder. I don't want to name names because, other glues are lovely, but I just don't prefer the way their bottle is or whatever. So anyway, off on my little glue tirade. So anyway, you should always use a wet glue when you're working with mixed media or any kind of texture, because it will hold a whole lot better in the nooks and crannies of that texture paste or any kind of paper that's got, texture behind it or shiny, anything like that. So I usually will use a bit of my double-sided tape because it will hold quick, but the glue will help keep it together, keep it, glued down and stuck down. I follow along with Kathy's layout with the butterflies on some of the little bubbles or the little circles. So I put butterflies in 3 different places like she has. I'm using this hello as my title because I felt like it was pretty darn appropriate considering he is coming out of this little balloon. Well, it's a big balloon, obviously. Looking at me like, he's he's such a nut, that boy is. But anyway, I thought that would worked really well. It's got all the colors in it that I wanted to have in here. I know most of this layout is very pink, even though I've used all 6 colors of the solar paste, but the pinks really kind of stand out, and there's a lot of orange and pink on here, which is fine since it's a color in the paper anyway, but I wanted to make sure all the colors were here since the rainbow in the balloon has all the colors, so I bring that out with that hello title. And then I'm going to bring a little more orange and pink with the little wordy bits I use. And that's about it. I do come in later. After I've done recording, I sent a picture to Tara, the paper snob. And when I sent it, I was looking at it like something is missing. So right in the middle, next to that red balloon, there's kind of like a gap there. And I pulled out a circle from the sticker sheet. It's just a white circle with a pink circle around it. And I stuck that down there and used it as a journaling space just to write, AJ's really enjoying the balloon for my party. It helps cover a little bit of a gap. It also gives me a space to journal because I really don't have that anywhere else. So that is it. Here's Kathy's layout again. It is beautiful. Please go check Kathy out. On Instagram, she's Kathy Loves to Scrap, and then all her other information will be below in the description box. And of course, she's on the playlist because she is one of our fabulous tribe. So I hope you'll go check her out. I hope you will go check out all the lovely ladies I scraplift with. Please go check out the playlist for Scraptember and see how other people are putting texture paste on their layouts today, and all the other fun prompts that the Scrappy Sisters have given us. I love the solar paste so much. I would love it if you'd give me a thumbs up if you like my video and or my layout. And thank you for spending your time with me today. I will comment if you have any comments below. I hope you have a great day. Hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. And happy scrapping.